Hey, it's me. I'm back. It's a weekend. And I have a few hours left before my weekend is over and go back to work. So I decided it's time for another update. Um, sorry, I really shouldn't have the music on right now, should I? Not because I'm scared of too much of the copyright stuff. I'm going to be so distracted by it because, well, I've been a little enraptured by the musical stallions of one Kuanano. And yeah, I've had her pretty much on the non-stop loop for the past week and a half. So, excuse me while I go past that. Yeah, sorry. But anyway, it's Saturday morning on my long week, so that means I get to go back to work today. Sweating up here a little bit because no air conditioning. And the smell from outside earlier tonight was pretty terrible. Smoky. Lots and lots of smoky. And yeah, I'm realizing that my voice is absolute dog shit tonight, so I apologize for that. But surprisingly, I'm actually joined by Trish tonight, who's been conspicuously MIA in my recordings so late. But she decided that tonight would be the exception. Um, so yeah, let's see what's been happening over on here. Well, I guess after my outing last weekend to the beach and realizing what I've been missing out on with with skirts, I decided, you know what, I don't have enough, so placed a bunch of orders. Still not bold enough to try to stock up on standard mini skirts or anything, but I am I'm embracing the skort at least until I get the surgery to take care of the issue I got. Then nothing will stop me except for my gut. Yeah, I'm very much aware that I got a bit of a spare tire going on here, muffin top. I am not a fan. Thing is, I didn't used to be that way. 4 years ago when I started HRT, I think I had I think it was only about a 27, 28-inch waist. And I measured it tonight, and I'm up to it was about 36-inch. So I gained 20 pounds, and it all went right there. Speaking of, the transition stuff, still waiting to get approval from the insurance company about the bottom surgery. But logged in to the insurance website and was poking around my records with them, claims and everything, and I found that despite my repeated um, declarations to the contrary, to tell them don't do it, don't bother, they've still submitted a letter, an approval. They went ahead and approved me for top surgery again. I mean, they had me approved 2 years ago, and I actually ultimately decided not to. But now I'm like, maybe I should. I mean, it's one of those things where I was close to where I wanted to be a year ago when they actually called me up and said we have a date available for you. If you want in, you can just schedule now. I actually decided to forego that because, let me be honest here. I mean, Yeah, I got a bra on right now, but I was about at the time I was about 80% of where I wanted to be, and I figured going the extra mile would just be overkill, you know, because a lot of what people have told me over the past couple of years is with my frame, you know, going larger than a B cup or maybe pushing it to a C cup. Just anything beyond that would just be overkill and just would not look right with my frame. So and it does that take does align with my own preferences. But now I'm sitting here like, okay, well, I got the approval. It's valid until November. So should I just go ahead and say fucking do it? I mean, I've already hit my bucket maximum for the year with insurance, so that'd be basically no cost to me outside of transportation. But at the same time, do I really want to go through with the long-term maintenance and replacing the implants? About like 10 years time, the recovery from the surgery, taking time off work, all the restrictions while you're healing, and yeah, I'm a little less eager at that point. But yeah, aside from that, it's just a waiting game. What else is going on? Kitty's been a little bit under the weather yesterday, and the day before now, I guess. Poor thing had me worried when her litter box reeked to hell and back. But based on what I scooped out of there this morning, it seems that she turned the corner, so I'm not too worried. She hasn't stunk up the house all day either, so I think whatever she had, it came and went. Still would like to know what caused it, so I know how to fend it off, just to deter it from happening later on. Oh, okay. Yeah, had a dentist appointment this week. Did not go well. The last time that I actually needed dental work done, that was back in early 2009. Just a little fun fact with my history. From the age of what was I, 9 years old until I turned 17, almost 18, I did not see a dentist at all in those adolescent years. So I never really got into the habit of seeing a dentist regularly. I'm not sure if I got dental insurance through my employers back then, back in my early adult life. But anyway, throughout my 20s, I neglected my teeth terribly. Finally went and saw a dentist for the first time of my adult life in 2009. So I've been out on my own for 9 years at that point. Oh, almost 9 years, but right. And yeah, I had a little bit of a toothache down this corner. At that point, it was the first time seeing my current dentist. And he tells me, in that first visit, he does the evaluation. Doesn't find anything here, but what was it? It was just this whole laundry list. He found like 6 cavities, and the X-ray revealed that my wisdom teeth, the bottom ones were horizontally impacted, like straight across, and the upper ones were going in at kind of a funky angle. So yeah, those 4 all had to come out about a month later. And while he was trying to fill one of the first cavities, which is actually a top molar, the one right next to the wisdom tooth, and he told me that it was actually just crumbling inside with the drill. So I was like, oh, that's great. So I had the appointment with the oral surgery, the was it orthodontic surgeon. Um, that was about 2 weeks later. So they decided to just go ahead and they gave me the option, either get a crown for it or get it pulled. And well, this was me in what was I 27 years old. You know, not a lot of money saved up. I think I had maybe $2,000 to my name, and the procedure is going to be I think it's about $1,800 to get the crown. All out of pocket. So I was like, oh, yeah, I can't do this. So I had them pull that molar along with the wisdom teeth. So, and from that point, I wasn't great about getting to the dentist after that, but at least went a couple times without in the following 4 or 5 years while I was living out in the Madison area. Still, my teeth suffered horribly when I was in my 20s because I had depression and I had horrible, very toxic relationships that just nothing worked out. So I was not taking care of myself at all. It was pretty bad. Then I came back. To this area, resumed with the same dentist I had previously, and been seeing him twice a year since then. And I came back in 2014, started seeing him again, I think it was early 2015. And since then, we've had no issues until now. And I had complaints about one of the teeth feeling a little bit funky, like when you bite something hard, it like feels like pressure, like when you push on something. Complain about that, and they checked it out, and yeah, I've got a cavity on either side of that tooth. So it's like, oh, okay, that's great. Plus one on this front canine here, apparently. But he says that they're all small right now, just starting out. So we're gonna nip it in the bud and take care of it early. Problem was, they gave me the estimate before scheduling, and they it was a hell of a range. So the last time that I got cavities done was back in 2009. And I think that ran me about like 500, maybe 600 when all was said and done. Well, this time, just for the three, they're saying that the high-end estimate is about $900 and some odd dollars. And the low-end estimate that they're giving me, which they say with insurance, that should be more likely. That'll be about $200 for that. So, kind of hurts, but I know it could be a whole hell of a lot worse. I just kind of would like to keep that money, I'd like to keep it in my bank account so I can spend it on stuff I actually want, not just services that I need. So yeah, getting that done in 2 weeks. Not looking forward to it. But like I said, they told me that it's just starting out, so it shouldn't be that big a deal. It's just I'm gonna drive back down there again. Not really a fan of it. Ow. Oh, sorry. Alright, she still has that one scab on her shoulder. It's healing, but it's slow. See your shoulder? I know. Okay, I'll stop. Yeah, she's been healing. The other scabs have mostly healed. I really prefer that you not go to town licking yourself in front of the camera. But shit, where's I going with that? Right. Things I want to do instead of paying for a dentist bill. Well, for one, I've been having issues with my car stereo. I'd like to actually replace that thing because I'm running with a 2006 model year, so it was built in back in '05, and as such, it's missing a lot of modern features. There's no Bluetooth connectivity. There's not even an auxiliary input. The thing it's got going for it is it has a 6-disc MP3 CD changer, and well, that's given me some issues too. It's like I went through all this trouble of compiling a playlist before I went and drove out to the Twin Cities last weekend, and I'm like, okay, there's a couple songs there that I had my heart set on hearing while I was driving, and went through the entire disc, and songs didn't play. So I went through the disc like twice, 2 or 3 times, and those songs did not pop even once. It was on shuffle, yes, but I kept going back, trying over and over again. It just never popped, never popped, never popped. So I thought, okay, I'll just try again. I'll burn another disc, add a few more songs in, and it was the same thing. Those same, I think it's 4 songs, just do not play. So I tried again. This time I actually took the time because I thought maybe iTunes is being fucked up. Whatever, it's possible. And yeah, I'm still burning CDs in 2025. Fuck you. But yeah, so I decided to burn directly from Windows Explorer. See, okay, maybe it's the iTunes software that's fucking things up. Well, I burned a data CD and plugged it into the changer, and it did exactly the same thing. I'm like, okay, what the fuck's going on here? Yeah. Fun little side note, it's relevant here, but since I bought the car, actually it was my brother's car before mine. He confirms that the CD player's display only works if you hit it. And I mean, you got a pound on it several times. Then it'll come on for a little while. So I'm pissed off. I'm pounding on it, and the damn thing lights up, nice and bright. It's like the 3rd time I've ever seen it. And okay, so you know what? Maybe maybe our RNGesus has had it out for me all this time. So I turn shuffle off, and I'm just going through track by track by track by track. It gets to the tracks that correspond with the songs I'm not hearing, and the fucking thing just skips over them entirely. It's like, okay, well, fuck you. This is pissing me off. So this kind of just puts you on this train of thought where I'm like, the car's got 150,000 miles on it, right? So it's not that old a car, really, mileage-wise. I mean, age-wise, yeah, it's 20 years old, but the engine's in great shape. I'm losing maybe a quart and a half of oil between changes, so it's not not that big a deal. Mechanically, everything is really sound on it. Body is starting to rust out in spots, but that's no big deal at this point. So I'm just thinking, okay, you know what? I'm having some issues with this thing. I might as well just splurge and buy myself a new unit. Like a modern stereo for it, with Bluetooth, or at least a fucking auxiliary input, so I can, run one of those 3.5 millimeter cables, and just connect it to the phone that way, if nothing else. So I'm like, okay, well, that'd be great. I can just, spend the money to do that, and of course, I haven't done it yet because finances are kind of iffy with the uncertainty about the surgery and now the dental bill coming in. Plus, the car actually does need some maintenance. What the hell is that? Oh, lint. They told me on my last oil change that the belt's starting to crack, so need the budget for that pretty soon. But I'm just like, okay, well, there's that. And then plus we're at the end of the quarter, which means HOA fees are due. That's another $700 out of my pocket, plus quarterly billing from the city. Don't think I got anything more other than the usual monthly bills beyond that. So that much to finally go, finally again take, finally in the in the in the in the in the mirror. God, I really cannot talk right now. I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, I just want to see where my finances are, largely because of the surgery, and I don't know what's going on with that. Um, the news that they gave me last Friday, kind of tells me that maybe they'll get me in real soon, or maybe it'll be a year from now. They were not very committal either way. So I'm nervous. Um, Part of me kind of does want the surgery delayed to next year, just so I got more time to get my finances in order and to more adequately mentally prepare for it. But simultaneously, how much time do we have before the Republicans, you know, outlaw the whole thing entirely? So I'm I'm looking at it realistically too, because in 2 years from now, I'm pretty certain that the whole thing with gender affirming care is going to be outlawed entirely in the U.S. because, well, Republicans suck ass. The only platform that they know is hate, and right now their favorite target to hate is me and my kind. But I'm not here for politics. I'm here for just life right now. Um, I was talking about things I want to spend my money on otherwise, apart from the dentist and medical bills and everything. I'm also looking at wanting to better this setup. I mean, yes, I am sitting in front of my cell phone camera, front facing, just prattling on my bed. It's like, okay, this is not a great environment for me to be trying to build a channel and a brand off of. I mean, do I really have any expectations for big time popularity? Oh, hell no. But especially after the interactions I've had with Kuanano, she says some things in her replies to my comments that kind of kind of sparked a fire under my feet. I'm like, she was talking about streaming, and I'm like, well, I haven't. I've wanted to try streaming for a long time. I know I've talked about this before in older videos. I haven't looked at it too much lately, just because for me, it's mainly about finding a schedule to be comfortable with and getting my body in sync and everything, and also getting an actual like gaming setup put together, um, which for me would involve getting a PC. I mean, yeah, I've got a laptop over there, but the damn thing is like it's 9 years old, and it was out. It was obsolete back then. The damn thing barely runs right now. I use it as a storage device mainly for old pictures and my music collection. That's pretty much it. You wake it up from going to sleep, and it's like it takes a couple hours before it actually runs properly, because it has to do all those scans, and the processor is a fucking ancient Celeron, and it just, yeah. I bought that computer back in 2016 because I had managed to kick my my home PC. It was a tower. Actually worked pretty well. It was a 1 terabyte hard drive. Played most games of the era reasonably well. I mean, I was doing like I played a lot of Guild Wars too back then, World of Warcraft games like that, and I could I could run through that game, doing 45, 50 FPS for the most part on higher settings. So it worked pretty well. Not bad for a $500 machine, pre-built. But anyway, I wound up kicking the tower when I got up one day and destroyed the hard drive. And unfortunately, I never made backups of the drivers or anything to recover the boot disk or anything like that. So I had all that hardware that I couldn't use because, well, there's nothing I could do about it. So I bought the laptop so I would have access to the internet because at the time I was still it was my main means of communication with my now ex-wife. So I needed a reliable internet connection at the time. So $300 later, I bought that as a stopgap, and well, it's still stopping the gap. not really, but so I need to buy a PC, get a monitor, actually probably two monitors, and I need a real a real camera. I got the PS5 camera, but that thing is such shitty quality. It shouldn't count. I need a microphone, of course. The headset that I have for my PS5 right now plugs into the controller, but the damn thing has so much background noise. No matter what I do, there's always this constant I don't know. It's like a higher pitched, snowy sound to it at all times. You can't hear it, in regular hearing, but when you record and you play back with microphone sounds, it's there. It's like, okay, what, where is it coming from? I have no idea. So the hunt is on for a headset that actually works and cancels noise out properly. Also need a desk, like a proper size desk. That one over there, it's barely big enough for the laptop. It wouldn't cut it. And what else do I need? New TV. I want to, I've got, right downstairs right now, I've got a 1080p plasma. And the damn thing was outdated when I bought it, but I bought because it was the cheapest option I had at the time to get a 1080p television, which, funny back then, I was like, okay, plasmas were always 720p, 720, 720, 720. No matter what you looked at, it was always 720. But this Samsung I bought, 43-incher, 1080p. It was like 378, 388, something like that. And the LCDs and LEDs of the time were like, you're paying about $500 for the same thing. So I went that route instead. Still runs strong, but you gotta upgrade at some point. At least on 4K, maybe 8K. I don't know. That might be overkill with the PS5 though. I have the base the base model PS5. But anyway, and then I gotta get all that put together. Probably take it down to the basement because the basement's cool, and summertime it's basically unbearable up here, and living room gets really warm too. Plus you got the refrigerator going at all hours. Not to say that the freezer in the basement isn't gonna pose its own issues, but yeah, we'll see. I might just stop using that altogether. Nah, probably not. But yeah. Then there's the part of actually getting on a schedule, and I'm this is where it's gonna be the biggest issue for me because I have my days off, and they're set days every week, but Wednesdays I'm always up until probably about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Then I pass out because I've been up for 24 straight hours, and so Wednesday nights are pretty much a crapshoot as to whether or not I'll be available for streaming. Plus, the cat always feels like she's neglected, so she'll be in there all the time demanding attention. So Wednesdays are kind of might work, might not work. I don't know. Um, Thursdays I generally have those open, but my sleep my sleep pattern is so inconsistent that I'm falling asleep at random times throughout the day. And same thing with Friday. I never know when I'm going to be awake or when I'm going to be sleeping. The only time that I'm really certain of is going to be on the day before I go back to work. Yeah, because I'll be up from midnight onward until about 4 or 5 in the morning. But who's going to be up at that hour? I just feel so stuck, But maybe I'll get something going, get some consistency. And that's the other thing. It's like, okay, I have a hard time playing on a schedule. This game on this day at these hours. I always just turn the PlayStation on and that looks good. Open it up and start playing again. Oh, you're gonna go. But some days I'm like, okay, I'm all about Monster Hunter. Some days I'm all about Disgaea. Some days I'm all about City Skylines or Tetris, or I might just break out a brand new RPG. Maybe I'll play Gran Turismo. I don't know. I never know. I never know what I'm gonna play from one day to the next. And I know if you're gonna be streaming, you gotta have a schedule. You gotta tell your audience in advance what you're gonna play. So I gotta figure out how to do that. How to get some consistency built into my playtime. God, I prattle on about that shit for so long now. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's really not a whole hell of a lot else I've got on my mind right now. I did actually do something constructive this week, and yeah, it's gonna sound so fucking elementary to anybody who's over the age of 12, whatever. But I own this condo, right? And as such, inside repairs and maintenance are my responsibility, right? So over the years, I've had an ongoing issue with the bathroom sink, right? First thing that happened with it about a month and a half, 2 months after I moved in. It was like 3 days before Christmas, right? The last working day of the year. It's like 5 o'clock, 5:30 on a Friday afternoon, no less. And I'm shaving, and I go to pull the stopper up in the bathroom sink, and damn thing just flies right out in my hand. Well, I look under the sink, and the arm that controls the up and down motion of the stopper, whole damn thing just ripped out of the side of the pipe because the whole fucking thing was rotted clear through. It's like just rusted out all the hell. Like, well, for one, why did the what do you call them? The fuck my got a brain fart going on here. The people that look over houses and properties before you proceed with the sale. Not appraisers. What is it called? What's it called? Shit. I cannot remember what they're called. It's such a silly. This is gonna bother me because it's an easy word. I just haven't used it in years. But Anyway, the guy that came through here and looked over the condo before I bought it, you know, he gave almost everything the okay, the stamp of approval and everything. Well, how he missed that, such an obvious thing, right underneath the sink. It's not hidden, other than, open the door and, oh, there it is. Inspector. God damn. How the hell did I miss that word? Home, the inspection, the, the, the home inspector. Yeah, he looked at it, and he either missed that entirely somehow by not looking underneath there, or he saw it and just didn't give a shit. But anyway, so I had to replace the damn thing on a Saturday morning, or was it Saturday afternoon anyway. I still had to work that night, so I was like, okay, well, that sucked. But anyway, since then, it was a struggle for me to get the new drain pipe installed, because I had to take the P-trap off too, right? And when they installed the sink, they needed about maybe another quarter to half an inch of space between the pipe leading to the wall and the pipe coming down from the sink, because there's a little bit of stress, because the piping, the P-trap is too wide, so it puts stress on both pipes from the sink and to the wall. Anyway, it caused me some issues the first time I put it together. Anyway, what I'm getting at here is, over the years since then, it's been a slowly accumulating issue where the water is backing up a little bit more. And finally, last week, I was like, okay, I either need to call a plumber, or I need to take matters into my own hands and see if I can't fish it out with a snake. So spent $25, bought a snake, and yeah, I did my own plumbing. I found the clog, the gunk buildup, pulled it out. It's like, and now the damn thing, which used to take over 3 minutes to drain completely, now does the same thing in about 20 seconds. It's like, oh, that's great. I accomplished something. And I know. It's like, okay, this is so elementary. This is not even plumbing 101 here. But you gotta understand, from my perspective, if there is a way to fuck things up with home repairs, home maintenance, putting things together, taking things apart, if there's a way to fuck it up, I will fuck it up. It's just, that's my nature. It's what I do. I lost a few good bookshelves because of that. Where you're supposed to screw things in a certain way, and it's like, okay, we got one shot only. Well, I always seem to put it in backwards or upside down, or just something's not aligned properly. I used to do that all the time, and so I learned the hard way that yeah, if there's a way to fuck it up, I will fuck it up. So doing something right for a change, it's kind of a big deal for me. Sorry. But yeah, anyway, since then I just keep running water down the drain, because it works. Oh god. Yeah, so I've been on here for, god, how fucking long has it been? Yeah, nearly 40 minutes. All right, I gotta wrap this up. I am so sorry. I've been rambling on and on and on and on. Yeah, so I will leave you to it then. Hopefully I don't get an age restriction, because I'm going to stand up now. But I will talk to y'all later. Bye bye.